Losing weight can be very challenging, especially if you're not seeing quick wins in the mirror or even on the scale.
Get off the scale.
Luckily, there is a secret diet that not a lot of people know about that can accelerate your fat loss goals in a short amount of time. And in this video, I want to share with you exactly how to do that diet in a safe and effective way. But make sure that you watch all the way to the end of the video because this diet is not for everyone. And while this diet is effective, you need to do it right in order to make it safe for yourself. Or it might just set you back even further. Now, the diet that I'm talking about is called the protein-sparing modified fast, or what I like to call the extreme fat loss diet. Now, the one thing you have to understand about this diet is the fact that it is restrictive. You're only supposed to do it for a short period of time, and it was designed to help you lose fat rapidly while maintaining muscle mass and also minimizing hunger. Now, we have to make the distinction between weight loss and fat loss because these are two completely different things. So the extreme fat loss diet is what I call an ethical way to lose fat fast because it is designed to help you lose fat, not just weight. Now, weight loss is a decrease in overall weight. It could be water, it could be glycogen, it could be fat, and also it can be muscle. And the extreme fat loss diet specifically targets body fat while helping you preserve and maintain muscle mass, which is crucial to having a healthy metabolism. When you're under severe caloric restriction, it actually uses fat for energy. And also, low carbohydrate levels are a net positive for insulin, which again promotes fat burning, and minimal fat consumption ensures that we use body fat as our main source of fuel. Now, this diet is not just about weighing less on the scale, it's about helping you improve body composition. And the goal we use inside of our coaching practice is to use this diet as a way to springboard into more sustainable habits. Now, we've actually seen a number of benefits from applying the extreme fat loss diet, especially in the beginning of our clients' journeys when they're trying to get lean. We obviously see a massive decrease in weight loss, and we know that it's going to be fat loss because of the fact that we are eating a high amount of protein and also doing resistance training on top of that. We also see massive reductions in the belly region, and that could also be indicative of how much visceral fat is leaving the body. We've also found that this can change people's taste buds when it comes to food. When you have a highly restrictive diet like this one, you develop a taste for healthier, non-processed options. In some cases, we actually see people have an increase in terms of their energy levels because of the changes that they're making to their food quality. And lastly, in other cases, we actually see people having a decrease in hunger while doing this diet. I'm not hungry! Because of the increase in fiber from vegetables and also protein intake. So who is this diet for? This diet is suited for people who have a good amount of fat to lose. For guys, that's anywhere above 20%, and for women, that's anywhere above 30%. Now, this is going to be controversial, but it's also been proven by science. When you have the right supervision, the best way to jumpstart fat loss is by getting fast results, especially in the beginning. This can lead to increased motivation, which can lead into developing a healthier lifestyle. And one of my core tenets when it comes to coaching clients and also when it comes to myself is the idea of going to your extremes to find your balance. I find that it's best to start a diet off the hard way first, and then afterwards to make it easier over the course of time. Now, the caveat to this is that you're only doing it for a short period of time, and then this has to be evolved into having healthier behaviors around your eating. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Now, the other type of person that this is great for is people looking to get in shape for a specific event. So this diet was actually taken from the bodybuilding world where people who had to get stage ready and had to do it in a fast time, they wanted to do it in a way that preserved muscle mass. So they ended up doing diets like this, which are a bit extreme, but also help to get them stage ready in a fast amount of time. And this can also be used for people trying to get in shape for photo shoots and also people who want to get in shape, say, for like a vacation. Now, the last group I would say this is great for is people who are obese and also people who are on GLP-1 medications. Getting fast results combined with the muscle retention from getting enough protein and also resistance training make this ideal for people who have a lot of weight to lose and also people who are doing GLP-1 medications. And as we're seeing with a lot of people taking these medications, one of the things that we have to always be aware of is sarcopenia. People are losing a shit ton of lean mass while they're on these medications because they are not eating enough protein or even doing resistance training. So if you just add those two things to their diet, especially when they are already feeling less than hungry, it acts as a great way to preserve muscle mass, especially when they're losing a lot of weight fast. Now, this diet is not for everyone. This is who this diet is not for. It's not for pregnant women. It's not for people under the age of 18. It's been recommended not to be for people who are over the age of 65 or people with pre-existing medical conditions. And super important, people who have a history of disordered eating should definitely stay away from this diet. And lastly, I know that we talked about people who are getting ready for photo shoots and bodybuilding competitions. I would highly recommend anyone that is sub 10% to stay away from this diet, or people who are already underweight and trying to gain weight. Now, like everything, there is no free lunch, especially when it comes to trying to lose fat in a very fast amount of time. So there are safety concerns while doing this diet. Now, while this diet works fast, I do recommend that people do this under supervision of either a health professional or someone who has actually done this for clients over the course of time. Also, there's a big risk for nutrient deficiencies and also electrolyte imbalance. And this is due to the severe caloric restriction that people go under when they're doing a diet like this. And now these can be mitigated through supplementation, which we're going to be talking about very shortly. Now, you can also feel in the short term fatigue, constipation, and even headaches. And lastly, I know I've said this already, but this is not a diet that you do long term. It is a short-term eating diet that should evolve into moderate, sustainable eating behaviors. So with that being said, here are a couple steps on how to do the extreme fat loss diet or the protein sparing modified fast. So the very first one is you're eating at least 1 to 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And you're getting these protein sources through single ingredient, nutrient dense, unprocessed sources. In terms of carb intake, you're aiming for less than 25 to 50 grams of carbs, and you want to get this through the form of cruciferous vegetables and staying away from the starchy type of vegetables. And you would want to spread these meals out over 3 to even 5 meals throughout the day. It is mandatory that you do at least 3 resistance training sessions a week, preferably using some form of progressive overload. And then lastly, you want to get your fats mainly from protein sources and also supplementation. So while someone's on this diet, they could be taking anywhere between 800 to sometimes 1200 calories per day. But what they are also taking in is their body weight in protein and also a shit ton of fiber through vegetables. The foods you would choose to eat are also going to be restrictive as well. You want to be aiming for lean proteins like chicken breasts, white fish, egg whites, and lean beef. You want to be eating non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and spinach. And also you want to be avoiding starchy vegetables, fruits, and added fats. The other thing that I would say while doing this diet is that you want to be hydrated as well. You want to be drinking a lot of water. You should be probably aiming for half your body weight in ounces when it comes to water. Now, you want to do that specifically with electrolytes. And then that is part of the supplements that I would recommend people to take while going on this diet. So number one is electrolytes allow us to absorb water a lot more efficiently, and they help us hydrate a lot more. The other supplement that I would take while doing this is going to be a high quality multivitamin or a greens powder. You also want to be taking in some form of omega-3s just to make sure, because you might not be eating the right amount of fatty fish. I also recommend magnesium glycinate or magnesium L-threonate, and also vitamin D if you're not getting enough sun outside. And the last one is going to be creatine. I talked all about creatine in the video that you can check out over here. And that is a supplement that I feel like almost everyone should be taking at this point. In general, if you are going to be doing a weight loss diet of any kind, whether it be something as restrictive as this or even something that's moderate, these are the supplements that I would recommend to take either way. Now, how long should you be doing this for? For our clients, we don't get them to do it any longer than 14 to 16 days. And we find that this is a perfect time frame for people to jumpstart fat loss. We have a number of our clients starting this off and they're losing anywhere between 6 to even sometimes 10 pounds per week. And yes, a lot of that is water, it's glycogen, but also because they're hitting their protein goals and doing resistance training, we know that a good portion of that is also fat and not muscle. Now, if someone is severely obese, they can actually do this for longer, but only under medical supervision. And one thing I just want to preface this before ending this video is that I am a fan of doing things in a sustainable way, but also I understand that it's not black and white. There are a lot of people, especially from what we see in our coaching practice, that really get motivated and that can evolve into healthy eating behaviors by really going to their extremes. And then once they go to their extremes, they find out what the balance is for them afterwards. And also, I just want to point out that this diet is not a magic pill. While it may jumpstart fat loss for a lot of people, it is not meant to be done in the long term. So a lot of our clients start off with this, but then they taper off into something that is a little bit more flexible and sustainable. And the really cool thing is that when they do something like this, their taste buds are a little bit more acclimated towards the foods that they should be eating in the first place. It's going from getting joy out of eating candy to getting joy out of eating a banana or even a sweet potato. So either way, you have another tool in your fat loss belt, which I hope is going to help you further along in your journey. Now, if you are trying to get in shape, I would go to this video, and it is everything that I would do if I was starting from zero and trying to get my body back in shape. You can check out that video over here, and I'll see you on the other side.